Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the IWC Portugieser Chronograph Classic. This is the reference 3904-04, 42 millimeters in stainless steel. This model was the first generation chronograph classic made from 2013 to 2016, and on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see it fits quite well. It's a handsome grayscale stainless steel with what they call ardoise anthracite dial at IWC of Schaffhausen. It's an easy watch to wear, not terribly thick though, not thin. At 14.7 millimeters, you could see that the stepping of the case flank and the domed profile of the box section sapphire will allow a sleeve to ride up and over the edge of this watch, so it's an easy one to wear with a tight cuff, even a sleeve, from a shirt or perhaps an exotic cuff such as French cuffs. No issues there and no issues with jackets. I'll also mention that the watch is broad from lug to lug, 51.2. It does have an impressive stance across the wrist, and I consider that to be more limiting size-wise than the thickness, so I would say 14.5 centimeter circumference wrist or larger. The spacing between the lugs is a very modern 22 millimeters, so the watch has a nice planted broad footing on a wrist of any size. Quickly take this one off and check out the strap, which is a lovely Italian Santoni piece from IWC's Italian leather specialist. The Santoni creating a medium rectangular scale gloss alligator leather black top coat and orange, signal orange, Italian Santoni calfskin on the underside, and you can see this is made in Italy. The watch is made in Schaffhausen, Switzerland. Rest easy. You can't see the signal orange when this is actually on the wrist. The quality of the leather on both sides is outstanding. You can see there's a little bit of a bolstering, a sheer-sided construction showing the layers of construction, and a monotone stitch. The clasp is a handsome piece and substantial, beveled externally with satin finish. You can see there's also polish. Open it up, there's a satin finish channel down the center, and when shut and secured, it is very, very crisp. The tolerances are outstanding. The case is elegant. As you can see, it's a Portuguese, much like its fellow Art Deco dress watch from Switzerland. The Calatrava 96, or the Patek 96, that effectively became the first Calatrava. There is a sort of Bauhaus integration of the form and the function, the lug and the case band. So both of those integrated into a single flowing line with a polished end profile and polished lug hoods. There's a concave bezel that visually pairs a bit of the mass, and you can see there is a very dramatically box-shaped and domed sapphire. Not a cheap piece to spec. Flat sapphires are cheaper. The more camber they have, in general, the more expensive they are to spec. Let's get the dust off of there. You can see the dial is exquisitely detailed. You know this is the 3904 rather than the 03 because it has small Arabic numerals outboard of its railroad seconds and minutes track. Ardoise sunburst metallic. You can see it's a sort of anthracite gray. Double registers. The one at 12 o'clock is a mono counter. It gives you chronograph 60 minutes, something very few chronographs give you, as well as chronograph hours up to 12. So you've got a 60-minute chronograph, you've got a 12-hour chronograph, you've got chronoseconds at center. It is a flyback that you can restart and reset with a single push of the button. You've got a monotone date disc. Every date disc should be monotone with a handsome sloped transition from the dial plane to the disc itself. Sunken registers give this watch a lovely bilateral symmetry. Actually, it has a cruciform symmetry. You can really just break it up and it's very clean. The watch featuring applique indices outboard of applique polished Arabic numerals and a lovely minimalist vertically oriented Art Deco font. You can see that there is also a little bit of a snailing for the sub-registers to give them more definition and texture. Turn it all over, you have IWC caliber. 89361. 89361 is a flyback automatic chronograph with a free sprung balance beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It's adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer. It is a tough architecture. It is a sporting architecture. It features, as you can see, a 50-meter water resistance, so this is a little bit more water resistant than a standard Portuguese chronograph, which is 30. Also important to note that in addition to the free sprung 4 Hz balance, you have a 4-pole IWC Peloton winding system. So it's shock protected and bidirectional winding, but rather than the regular 2-pole system as envisioned by Peloton himself in the early 1950s, this is a 4-pole system that debuted during the 2000s, and it is a very, very efficient system. The Peloton being both tough and efficient, and the 4-pole system being more efficient still. The 28 joule movement is blessed with a 68-hour power reserve, so it has more than reasonable endurance, solidly more than the industry standard of 38 to 42 hours for an automatic watch. There's a lot of impressive watchmaking going on in here, and as you can see, there is also buried underneath the apparatus, there is a column wheel. You can see it interacting with its levers and horns. It is very crisp. I feel it, I hear it, I would put it on par with the Zenith El Primero as one of the standards of the industry for pusher feel. There is also a vertical clutch mechanism, so you can leave the chronograph seconds hand running without hazard to the watch, and as you can see with the vertical clutch, there's no inherent play in the system. It starts without any jump or stagger. The watch features stop seconds as well, and a quick set date so you can rapidly cycle the date indication. This timepiece, the IWC Portuguese Chronograph Classic, can be seen and purchased on our website, thewatchbox.com.